It's promotional bust this season, folks. Literally, I've signed 15 players. They were all cheap and not very good, but it's 15 players nonetheless. We're quite a bit over our wage budget. I'm experimenting with a new tactic that I'm pretty sure probably won't work, but I'm reassuring myself with the fact that I've played Football Manager before. I know that as long as we're not in the relegation zone by about November time, as soon as other managers, maybe even in the National League, start getting sacked, there'll be interview offers coming in. I hope. Hello and welcome to Club 2 Part 9 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have all of our summer transfers plus our first game of the season at home against Dartford. There is a lot of transfers. Finance-wise, we are over our wage budget. No, I mean, I said by a bit. I don't think we're any further over it than we were for most of last season. The budget is 6,165. We're still less than 7,000. It's not ideal, but it's not disastrous. The projection doesn't look good, but then it didn't look good before I arrived. It's not going to look good. We just need to either get promoted or at least do well enough to attract a bigger club who'll come and swoop me away. Is swoop the right word? Because messing around trying to manage budgets on a squad of 14 players, that's not going to get the job done. So if we have a look first at the players leaving the club, there are quite a lot. We've not sold anybody because we're in the National League South. But we've released quite a few familiar names. I mean, the most familiar would be Nathan Ashmore, who was our goalkeeper for all of last season. He's gone out on a free, end of his contract, purely because he wasn't anything special and he wanted too much money. He wanted like £400-500 a week to stay. I'm not wasting £400 or £500 a week on a goalkeeper when I could go and get two young goalkeepers for that and have some competition for places. So we let Will Britt go as well, who was our backup goalkeeper, Gibraltar international. Our two experienced keepers are gone. We've got two untried kids plus a loanee. We're doing it Kev style. Ryan Case has gone, similar situation. He wanted too much money. He's gone to Boreham Wood, and you can see £550 a week as a backup player. He played 8 games for us last season. We just can't afford that. Jack Batten, exactly the same situation. Was a bit of a backup player. It says 34 games, but 21 of those were a substitute. He wanted too much money. Move him on. Jamie Lucas, exactly the same situation. 7 games, wanted too much money. Miles Welch-Hayes, again, wanted too much money to stick around. Only played 1 game last season. And Joe Cook, despite me signing him and him playing 11 games and being a promising youngster, he does fit our new criteria for player in that he was cheap when we signed him and he's had 5-star potential, still has 5-star potential, but he wanted to double his salary so he can do one. And we've replaced those 7 players plus all the loanees we had here last year have been replaced with, hold on, let's do all transfers because we have brought a couple of players in on loan. One of them is Jack Henchcliffe, is back for another season. Clutton is back as well, but for some reason isn't shown on this screen. So we've reloaned those two. Plus we've loaned a goalkeeper, Ashley Maynard Brewer, who's on loan from Charlton. My scouts, I think we have a scouting problem. My scouts told me he was 4-star current ability, 5-star potential. Turns out he's actually not as good as one of the kids we've signed on a free transfer. So I might forget loans altogether. We were burned a bit with loans last year. If we just bring in free transfers after scouting them, we're probably going to be okay. And now we're just going to run through these frees because we could be here all day. Jesse Akabwini, no idea. Jesse is a bit of a star. He's a central midfield player. Comes from Queen of the South. 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Gives us a little bit of creativity and sparkle in our central midfield, which we didn't really have before. Gives us an option to play slightly differently to how we have played at times. Josh Upaya is a 20-year-old Belgian striker and winger from Leicester. He's quick. He's got 5-star potential. He's got good first touch. He might score goals for us. He's another striker option. Bobby Biddle is one of the keepers we brought in. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. He came in from West Brom via Warwick, who was on loan at last year. Rhys Sharp is a left-back to offer some competition for places with Osborne. We've now got 2 good left-backs. He's a 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, and he was at Matlock last year. And the Matlock aren't in a player, but I mean, he might not be very good. He looks good. I think he looks all right. Neil Osborne is another keeper, 2.5-star, 5-star potential, 20 years old, from Torquay, previously at Southampton, and before that, Torquay again. So he likes it down the south bit of England, so I don't know how long he's going to stay. I mean, I guess Bath is southish as well. Mason Barrett is a right back, 19 years old, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, comes in from West Ham. Are you spotting a theme with all these players? They're all cheap. I set myself a little goal unless a player is absolutely game-changing. I'm not spending more than £200 a week on a player, which does limit me to young kids who've been released by bigger clubs, which I guess talent-wise isn't a bad transfer policy to have. It does mean consistency might be an issue for us this season, both initially as all these new players bed into the team, and long-term because young players have a bit of a consistency problem. Cameron Evans, we only signed him because he was £20 a week and has 5-star potential. We didn't need a third right back, but we've signed him anyway. He's come from Swansea. £20 a week, how could you not sign that? Ben Goodliff is a centre-back, 20 years old, 2-star current ability. I mean, it all fits the policy. He's from Wolves. Andrew Burns is a proper right back, 26 years old, 3-star current ability, but he's been playing at this level for years. Tamworth, Whitehawk, Barrow. We know what we're getting with Andrew Burns, so hopefully he'll be able to come in and be an excellent player for us. Dean Rittenberg is another attacking option for us, 23 years old, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Never really done it anywhere, but he's going to be our fourth choice striker. So at least we've got a fourth choice striker this year. So if something does happen to Robles and Mills, we've got options. George Allen is a centre-back and our new captain. 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. He comes from East Thurrock, been playing at this level for a little while, although East Thurrock looks like they dropped out of the league previously. He's our captain, the third captain we've appointed this summer. Compton is causing problems, so he stripped him of the captaincy, gave it to Stone, who had an absolute fit about it because he's too young at 23. My assistant manager suggested we give it to George Allen, who's 24 and half the player that Stone is. So he's now our captain. I might not even get in the team, but at least we've got they're all happy about it now. Daniel Rowe is probably my most extravagant signing of the summer, £300 a week, purely because he's the only left winger I could find, and I was certain at the point that Compton would leave. Compton's actually still at the club now, so Daniel Rowe is probably going to be quite an expensive reserve, but he's got decent experience at this level, having played for Havant last year, and I mean he gives us another option if Compton really is disruptive. And then Henry Lander is another option at centre-back, 2-star, came in from Poole, and then that's that. So lots and lots of players. We're not necessarily going to get them all into the team straight away, but we've got options. Dynamics is absolutely ruined. I mean, it says very good, good, and very good, but the significant thing, actually, they've all kind of bedded into the core social groups. They've bedded in quickly. That's quite impressive. And Jack Compton actually supports me, despite the fact he's been a whinge bag all summer. This might actually go well. And we've tweaked the tactic because this is a one-game experiment, purely because getting everyone into their best positions. Doty is he's officially our second best player at the club by star rating. We don't ever play him, and we've never played him in his right position. So let's start the season with him playing in his correct position. So we're going to play him in behind the front two. Danny Mills is injured. He's going to miss about the first month of the season. Let's get all these kids out of the way so we can actually see who we've got. So Danny Mills, actually, he's going to be back in a couple of weeks. That's better than expected. Clutton is suspended. So central midfield-wise, I was a little bit light anyway. And thought, you know what, let's stick Doty in behind the front two and just do a wide 4-3-1-2 with Compton and Henchcliffe both on support rather than having Compton pushing on and attacking, and just have a fully flat defensive back four with everyone playing in their preferred positions. So we're not looking for anyone to push forward from full back. We want those two and those three up front to do all the attacking. Ovenden is our midfield, which is fine because he's our best midfield player. And I'm hoping this is going to be Kev's new super tactic that allows us to win promotion. The one other thing about our new signings means that because we've now got other options up front, we've actually got someone who can play something other than a poacher. Rittenberg is a natural defensive forward. I really like a defensive forward. You'll have seen from Back in the Borough, which I assume you were watching. You should all be watching Back in the Borough. Elliot Rocker is a superstar as a defensive forward for me. And the defensive forward, poacher, playmaker in behind. It's very much what I'm doing at Nuneaton with the front three, and it's working really, really well. This bit is different to what I'm doing at Nuneaton because I just don't have players who can play wing back. Plus, I've got wingers who are pretty decent. So, I mean, my theory is pretty much everybody is playing in their preferred position. Doty apparently doesn't have one. He doesn't have anywhere where he's completely natural playing there, which does beg the question, what on earth is he doing as a footballer? But I think having everyone in their preferred positions might just be what we need to do. I mean, it's revolutionary, I know. But let's get out there. I don't know if this system could just be a complete mess. We could be completely overrun in midfield the whole time. Or maybe, just maybe, I might be a genius. Now, I'm fairly sure which one of those is most likely to be the case, but we're rolling the dice a little bit. Like I say, it's promotion or bust this season. We either go up or we just go out in a blaze of glory. Right, Compton's take a penalty, 2 minutes in. Let's see if his head's in the right place. If he misses this, I'm going to sack him. I perhaps won't sack him, having had previous for sacking. Oh, for goodness sake. He is just messed up in the head at the moment. He wants to leave, but he's not good enough to go and play anywhere else. And I don't think he realises it. No one wants him. For a year now, I've been open to offers for him. We've not had a single offer. If anyone came in for him, even on a free transfer, I would let him go just to get him off our wage bill. And Rittenberg, on his debut, Mr. Defensive Forward with an injury as well, has grabbed a goal from a corner. Compton whips the corner in. That might be a float, actually. And Rittenberg, how tall is he? He looks like a big lad. Have we got another big striker? Let's have a look at him. We can't look at him from that screen because obviously that would be too easy. 6 foot tall. It's not that tall. But certainly once Danny Mills is fit again, you would expect us to be even more threatening from these set pieces with 2 big lads up front. I'm already talking about dropping Rowe balls. What is this? But 2 big lads up front plus the 2 big centre backs. We could be the set piece kings. I might have to work on set piece instructions. Right. We're finally having to do a little bit of defending. And it's going to be interesting to see how we go about it. Osborne, that's terrible. That's just terrible. What on earth happened there? 2 absolute pieces of nonsense. Osborne, what was he thinking trying to keep the ball in? And then I'm sure that was a Stone own goal. It's gone down as a goal for them. But what is Osborne doing here? Why take the touch? Why do that? Just kick it out for a throw-in. I don't understand. And then Stone, just the wrong side of his man. That was a calamity of errors and nothing to do with playing a one-man midfield. They've just come down the wing. Osborne's had an absolute mare. We have Sharp on the bench, who's as good as Osborne, and Osborne's not giving me any reasons to want to keep him in the team with that kind of absolute nonsense. All the good work from earlier in the half undone in a moment of madness. Right. Let's go grab a couple of goals to show that this new front 3 is going to do the business. If it doesn't, Doty's days in the squad are numbered. He's another one, similar to Compton. The fact that we've got Compton and Doty here, and I know it's my fault. I gave them both new contracts because they're, again, by star rating, the 2 best players at the club. They don't fit into the system that I want to play. So I'm kind of forced to do this weird-looking system in order to play our 2 best players, and it doesn't work as a system. So I could drop them both, say, there you go, there's the £1,000 a week on the wage budget that we're over. It's these 2 because they're on £500 a week each, and we'll go and do a 4-3-1-2. We'll do things Kev style, and Doty would be in a 4-3-1-2 to be honest. It's Compton who's causing me the problem. Do we just bin him? He's a troublemaker. Look, he's disenchanted. Oh, you're disenchanted, Jack. Play do proper football then. You're supposed to be a National League quality player. You're supposed to be able to win these matches by yourself, and you're just moping around the place missing penalties like an idiot. Hey, right, Doty, fouled. Are they going to send him off? Hey, all right, Nobler, splendid. They have sent off Lee Nobler. Right. If you don't know why I'm calling him that, you need to watch yesterday's episode. Right. Roebel's not having a good game. Let's get Upaya on. There you go. 2 new boys up front. And we're going to take off Compton. We haven't got anyone to bring on for him. Have we got a centre? Can Barrett play centre back? Could we go to a back 3? Osborne and Burns can't really play wing back. All this talk of bringing in new players, and I've got myself in exactly the same situation as I was in last year, where I want to make a substitution and I don't have the players to do it. Right, there you go. I'm just going to do it. We'll play Tim out on the left wing. Why not? So 2 right wingers now. I should just stick them both on the right-hand side. Do a reverse K. Right. Come on, please get a tackle in. This is getting silly at this point. I don't think this version of the 4-3-1-2 has worked at all. We've not had any. The wide players aren't in the game. The midfield's overrun, and we're not creating any chances. We've got a front 3 that aren't getting opportunities. I mean, none of that's true. Looking at the stats, we've had 3 chances. They've had none. We've had more of the possession. The stats say we've played quite well. So perhaps it's just the personnel who are the problem again. with the policy of signing cheap youngsters, obviously they're not going to be very good. We're second favourites for promotion this year. I just don't understand how it's possible to build a team on a £6,000 a week budget. I can't cope with it. It breaks me. At Nuneaton, I've got like 15 grand a week, and I've put together a good team there. This one, I think I just need to keep my head above water until November and hope for a bigger job somewhere. I'm not going to apply for jobs. I'm not a monster. I won't start trying to jump until I'm about to be pushed. But this is poor. At least we're losing to top of the table, Dartford, on the first day of the season. That means they've beaten us badly. That makes us bottom. Oh, we're not bottom. Bognor Regis are bottom. Splendid. Good old Bognor. Yeah, we're not playing very well at all, are we? Let's abandon this tactic for the next game. Go back to a 4-4-2. Forget Doty. And if Compton doesn't sort his life out, we've got Rowe, I suppose, who can come in, which that's what we signed him for. So we could just stick Compton down with the under-18s, get him to spoil them, and hope he decides to quit. That wasn't fun. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Football Manager stuff. Don't even know. I've got too many different outros now. I can't cope with them all, and I'm sad. Thank you for watching.